Well, thank you. So it's good to be here, and I'm here to provide an update that it sounds like everyone is well aware of, but, I'll do it anyways. So let's jump in. So I think everybody here kind of remembers December 9th of 2013 when Sovaldi came to market and literally, changed this space for a lot of folks. Of course, that treatment came at a large cost, and as a result of that, within the Medicaid space, there was an effort and a struggle to try to figure out how we were going to move forward with bringing this treatment to Medicaid recipients. And so I think many of you know this already. The P&T committee heard this topic, I think, a record number of times. I didn't go back and count, but I don't think there's another. I don't think there's another therapeutic class that received as much attention as this one. Preferred drug list changes, criteria evolving over time with the help of many folks that I see in the room. And then many of you will also remember that at the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, we were engaged with the Oregon Law Center, that's OLC, and together OHA and OLC came to terms in March, but began seriously talking in January with a memorandum of understanding. And within that memorandum of understanding, there was a lot of things that occurred and milestones that we were in agreement to reach and complete. And one of those things was to expand coverage to folks with an F2 F score. And despite the P&T committee not recommending that, the OHA in January of this year went ahead and did expand to the F2 population. And as you'll also know, this year in September, we had the P&T committee provide a recommendation to drop this substance use disorder criteria. And so beginning January, as was already alluded to by Randy and some others, that criteria will no longer be in place, which is also great news. And then someone said it was probably the most important day for many of you here today. On the 29th of November of this year, the P&T recommended to move forward without fibrosis restrictions. And sorry? And I'm getting to that. Yeah. Randy's so excited, he wants to know when. Like, is it tomorrow? Yeah. So I also spent some time with our good director in Washington, D.C., and I just got home last night at 1:30 their time. So I was pretty tired when I got there. But anyways, I actually got to present the P&T's recommendation to Mr. Allen in Washington, D.C. with the chief medical officer. And he gladly and happily signed those on the 12th while in D.C. And so what does that mean? Well, it means there's a lot of work left to do. And we have already messaged the CCOs with respect to the people who use drugs criteria being dropped. And so beginning January, CCOs will have that requirement under the risk corridor. And we're in the process of finalizing a letter that will also go out under the risk corridor notifying CCOs that beginning March 1st, there will not, Randy, March 1st, there will not be fibrosis restrictions. And so that's a great deal of effort has gone into doing what we're able to do. And it wasn't just because of me, it wasn't just because of people at OHA, it's because many of you here, sitting in this room, faithfully engaging in the public process, respectfully engaging members of the P&T, respectfully engaging even me, and I really do appreciate that. And I think the best thing that this illustrates to everybody is that together we can do great things. It's not because of one person. And I think that if we continue to do things together, things will be a little bit easier to do everything that we've heard today. So one of the things that was instrumental in getting this through was Governor Brown's commitment in her budget that she just put out. She allocated an investment of $10 million. That doesn't really do justice because really you have to remember that that is general funds. And so that gets leveraged to almost, I think it's $107 million that'll be used with leveraged funds to do this great work. So in closing, I think I said what I wanted to say in closing already, but it's everybody in this room that has helped us get to where we are, and it'll be everybody in this room that'll get us to where we need to be with respect to an elimination of this virus. So I'm wanting to take tons of questions, but that's my message, and I don't want to keep you from lunch, and hopefully that message helped you digest lunch better, too.
I'm old and gray.
Speaking of that money, we're going to need every person in this room to help in Salem to get that money, because there will be forces that won't want us to get that money. So Caring Ambassadors will be doing a Hill Day, but we need to be hitting every congressman, every representative, every senator, and making sure that that money stays in the budget. And maybe we could even increase it, but it's going to take a lot of us. So, I'm going to be reaching out to all you guys. We lost our partner BJ in this, and I won't go there, but I'm going to need your help to get this money. So, it's going to take all of us. Yeah. Any other questions for Trevor?
I have one more thing to share.
Okay.
So one last thing, I just wanted to note that Washington State currently is in the process of developing a request for proposals from manufacturers that will include bona fides, that include certain things that we heard about today, which are needle exchange programs, screening, and other such things. And so what many people don't know, though, is because of the Northwest Prescription Drug Consortium, of which I'm a co-administrator of, Oregon will have the ability to access any agreement that is made under that RFP. And so that's another piece of good news that I just wanted to leave you with. Andy.
I've asked you this question elsewhere, but I'm going to change the question. So one of the things that that a lot of the primary care clinics who do, especially in FQHCs who have access to a ORV pharmacy kind of off-record depend on a little bit to help fund their programming for Hep C is that there is some reimbursement for Hep C drugs that is above and beyond what you get from another kind of pharmacy. Do you have any ways I can frame to my administrators when having conversations about Hep C programming about what we might expect those 340B revenues, how they might change over time from the way you're negotiating for drugs now? It's a delicate question, but I think it's something everyone thinks about building this program.
So to repeat the question for Facebook, what Dr. Siemens is asking is how, and correct me if I get it wrong, I know you will, how will 340B entities be impacted should there be direction around from the state around the utilization of 340B's programs? Is that your question?
Yes.
Okay. So I think so first of all, it's important to recognize that on the fee-for-service side, And so for those of you that don't know, there's basically two pieces to the Medicaid program in Oregon. There's the fee-for-service side, and then there's the CCO, or managed care side. And so understanding that the FQHCs and 340B entities that work with our population, bill fee-for-service their actual cost for these medications, and then we provide a dispense fee on top of that acquisition cost that is typically higher than what you would get on the commercial side in terms of a dispensing payment. But acquisition cost is passed along to the fee-for-service side. And so what I think you're asking is, on the managed care side, there is a margin that is charged to that managed care entity that is utilized, that margin is then utilized to fund programming as it pertains to the care of individuals using those medicines. And so I think that it's important, and we understand, particularly the pharmacy team understands, that there is that dynamic, and we want to be sensitive to our 340B partners in making sure that we make good policies around 340B and the FQHCs in particular, so that we don't undermine the good work that is being funded by that revenue. Does that help?
Great. Well, how about another big round of applause for Trevor? Yes. So Trevor does not know this, but we do an Ann Thomas Leadership Award, which we will give away in a few minutes. But we decided we needed another award for your outstanding leadership in government to eliminate hepatitis C. And so from Caring Ambassadors, we're very proud to present you with this, and thank you for your work. And we're going to do this together.
Thank you. Thank you very much.